Hey there, I'm Daniel Dwayne, and today we're going to talk about the best cameras for live streaming. And to do that, we're going to look at some of the cameras that the top Twitch streamers are using. So if you're looking to, get into live streaming, or maybe you want to upgrade your camera, this is definitely the video for you, because we're going to cover webcams, DSLRs, and we're even gonna talk about a movie camera that you could use for your live stream if you felt so inclined. And yeah, so let's start with the most ridiculous camera on the list, because it's the camera that none other than Ninja uses. It's the Blackmagic Ursa Mini Pro 4.6K. That is too long of a title for a camera, but it is, just to get over it. We're just gonna have to get over it. This camera is like $6,000. So if you have all kinds of money to just, throw away on your stream, then by all means, go with this camera. And you could be like Ninja. You'd be just like Ninja. And I mean, it does 4K. You could stream in 4K. That's pretty legit. But you're probably not going to want to go with this camera if you're like a video game streamer or something. But if you're like a big business and you're doing something that's like television production live streaming, maybe you're like a church and you're going to, live stream your services, this might be the kind of camera you want. Otherwise, probably not, because I mean, they have webcams that can do 4K, like the Logitech Brio Ultra HD Pro webcam. What is up with these long titles? Okay, calm down. Just calm yourselves. And this camera is used by Tfue, who is like the second biggest streamer out there other than Ninja. So if it's good enough for him, it's pretty solid. It's only like $200 also. So, $6,000, $200, also streams in 4K. Maybe that could be a good option. And if you want to stream in 60 frames per second, you can do that with this webcam, but at like 1080p, not 4K. 1080, but that's still pretty solid. That's pretty solid. And you can even stream 90 frames per second at 720p. Oh my. All on a webcam for $200. Wow. Okay. Moving on to the next camera, the Logitech C922, which is used by Summit, another very notable streamer, and it's only $120. So it's a little bit cheaper than your other webcam, but you don't get 4K, but you can still stream 1080p. If you want to get that 60 frames per second, you're gonna have to stream in 720p. But hey, do what you gotta do. You do what you gotta do. You save a little money. It's worth it, right? So those are the webcams that some of the biggest streamers are using. So, this would be great for you if you're doing video games, or maybe you're like teaching a class or something. You don't need anything that's like insanely expensive. You just need a webcam that works. They have microphones built in, so that's the thing. So yeah, that could work for you. Next, we're gonna talk about DSLRs, because that's my personal favorite type of camera to use for live stream. It's what I use. Love it. Love having a DSLR because you can get that, cinematic look without, having to pay for like a movie camera, because interchangeable lenses and all that. So the first camera on the list, it's the Sony Alpha A6000. And this camera is on the list because both Pokimane and Shroud use this camera for their live stream. Two more very notable streamers, I would say. By the way, the Sony Alpha A6000 is only $650, and it does 1080p, 60 frames per second. So that's definitely gonna look pretty nice, especially if you're streaming, you're gaming, and you're gonna game in 60 frames per second. You want to stream in 60 frames. You want your camera to match it. Then of course, this is the camera for you. Does not do 4K though. So let's talk about a camera that does do 4K, which is the Canon EOS R. Now, the reason why I picked this camera is because it's used by Harris Heller, who is known for all of his magical technical advice on streaming. He's like one of those people that just gives you all the tips that you need to know. Kind of like what I'm doing here. But he uses this camera, and so if it's good enough for him, it's definitely good enough for you. But the thing is, it's gonna set you back like $1,800, which is not particularly cheap, but you know, got a full frame sensor. Ooh, full frame. Let me just, okay. If you're a camera nerd like me, you know that full frame is gonna give you a nice wide field of view. As you can see, that's, you know, what Harris Heller does. He's got that nice wide angle lens. Ooh. But with this camera, you can stream in 4K. Not in 60p, but in 4K. So it's pretty legit. Okay, so the last camera on the list is actually my camera. And the reason why I'm putting my own camera out there is because Harris Heller mentioned my camera as being the best looking camera on Twitch. And I don't mean like my specific camera, which is the Panasonic Lumix GH5. He was actually talking about my personal live stream being the best looking, you know, live stream. So I had to put it on the list because, I mean, here, just see for yourself.
This is like the best camera we've ever seen on Twitch. It really is.
So the Panasonic Lumix GH5 is a really solid camera. It does everything that the EOS R does for like $1,400. One specific thing about the GH5 that does set it ahead of the EOS R, it will do 4K in 60p. Boom. Drop the mic. Drop it. Ooh. So there it is. Now you know. At the end of the day, the camera is not everything. There are other factors that will play into how great your camera could look, such as the lens. The lens makes a difference. It does. And most importantly, your lighting. Having some nice lighting, as you see here, makes a really big difference. I mean, you could take a webcam, throw this lighting on it, it's gonna look pretty sweet. I'm just saying. So you don't have to spend all the money in the world, like Ninja, to have a really good looking camera. You know, you could spend $120 or $6,000, whatever you want to do. Live your life. It's your life. I'm just here to give you the recommendations. So those are all the cameras on the list, but there's one more thing you need to know. So don't go away yet. If you're gonna stream with a DSLR, you're gonna need something like this. This is a cam link. So it allows you to plug your HDMI from your camera into USB. Then that goes, you know, into your laptop or your computer or whatever. Did I really need to explain that, guys? Come on. But yeah, you definitely will want one of those as opposed to a webcam, which will just go straight up into your USB, into your computer. So there's your free tip of the day. You're welcome. You're very welcome. I've done all the research for you. So if you enjoy this video, definitely subscribe and go on over to my Twitch channel because you can watch my live stream, twitch.tv/DanielDwayneTV. We hang out, talk about all the things that you love to talk about, like movies and stuff, particular one of my favorite things. But we also talk about tech stuff, so if you have questions, you can ask me over there. All right, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.